Hello and welcome back to ETS2, follow my career FrostFlow rates. You join me in Sweden. We are looking to try and make our way, I think, down into Poland on the next job. I have got one lined up, hopefully it's still there. As you can see, spent a little bit of money tarting up the truck. Scruffy in the Discord said that my truck looked a bit naked. I need to do something with it. So I just spent 130 grand sprucing it up. She looks the bollocks. Let's go. So since I've spent all that money doing her up, no doubt this will be a crash-ridden journey. Hopefully not. What I should have done is spent some money flipping the cab ready for Europe. Perhaps once we get out there, we'll flip over to left-hand drive, since we're not in the UK anymore. I think the guys in Discord were a little bemused that I'd brought a left-hand drive when we do our convoys. We love to do convoys. By the time this comes out, we might have already done some. A few of them already do it. Simmy Dad and Scruffy, they get on the convoys quite regular. I'm hoping to join them soon. Would be very nice. The multiplayer gameplay with the channel members has sort of picked up lately. We've got the 2 multiplayer farm sim servers. Trying to get some convoys going on the truck in, so yeah, trying to make myself available for those guys that are putting the extra in supporting the channel. So hopefully that's all gone well. Still, by the time this comes out, and I hope you're all well. Let's get that in. Hope you're all well. I think by the time this one comes out, it'll probably come to the end of the summer holidays. We finally got some sun this way. So those in my Discord will know when I recorded this. I have to do that. Yesterday, me and the boy went and I said we went fishing, and I was corrected by Lynn. I didn't catch anything, so I just went waiting. Yeah, we went. I tried to have a little bit of fish down the river. No luck. Turns out we're not very good anglers, but we're enjoying just being out and spending some time in nature, which is good. Trying to keep an eye on where we're going, what we're doing. So yeah, I've spent a bit of time on ETS in building up another profile just to do convoys with, because I don't want to take it away from this profile. Because things that might turn up out of sync. I don't really know. I haven't done a convoy yet, but I don't want to turn up out of place. Convoys may get streamed, they may get recorded for a bit of fun, see what happens. Same as I might start trying to record a little bit more of the multiplayer farm stuff. I was talking to Redneck Gamer, and he was saying like he pretty much records anyway, and he's hoping just to get a collection of content to try and do something with, and I think that's not a bad idea, just for something different. So let's look at what it was. Hopefully it's still here. It is still here. It's got 10 hours on it. So what we're doing, we're taking lamb stomachs, tasty, for Stena Line to DB Schenker, and we're going from Karlskrona in Sweden to Szczecin in Poland. We're going to guess that that's how that's pronounced. It's not a very big trip, but we'll take it. We're trying to get more comfortable journeys. The back is still playing up, so we just want to be careful with things like that. Let's make sure we pick up the right trailer. There's 2 very similar. So yeah, for the convoy truck, if it hasn't started yet, I haven't done anything with it. We've got a nice Renault. I need to do something. I think I need to have a clean out of my pedals. My accelerator keeps getting stuck. That's why I just change the dead zone a little bit. It might just need a little clean out. Connect it up. That just turned my lights out. Turned my engine off completely.
Let's go.
There we go. Sorry about that, sweetheart. It didn't go well, did it? We got a new Union Jack in the back as well, showing ourselves off. Once we get some daylight, actually overnight it'll probably look nice. We'll make sure we get our lights on and show off some of what we got. I'm not sure what it looks like at the minute. So we have a little butchers. How do we look before we head out? Ooh. So if I... That's not everything. That's our high beam though, so we can't have them on. And we can put our beacons on. Are we allowed to drive with beacons regardless? Or is that too annoying for everyone on the road? But yeah, we got beacons on, all sorts. Not so naked.
Turn left.
But if I remember right, the last few trips have been pretty smooth. So hopefully we'll have some more of them. Like a nice smooth one. Mr. QP has just jumped on the ATS. Hopefully we're going to get some more ATS content from him. Simudad on YouTube. Go check him out. ATS Farm Sim. If that's your pleasure. He's a great guy, a channel member, a long-time friend of the channel as well. Really is becoming quite a key part of the community over here anyway, and on a larger scale. He caught speed just as we were coming into that 45 as well. We were like 10 yards out, so not a perfect run, but let's hope that that's our last big hurrah, shall we? I'm trying to think what else has been going on in the world of MrFarquar. Because we've been recording quite close together, and you know, not been doing a great deal because of, you know, pains and aches. I've got a lot of stories to tell at the minute. It's just things are quite nice and comfortable. You know, after the dramas of the car and everything and what have you, not a lot to write home about. So hopefully that means we can concentrate on the driving.
Go straight.
Things seem to be a little bit more settled in the farm sim world as well. Few little niggly people every now and then, but it's all good. We'll see what happens as more maps and mods come out. That's when the problems arise. We'll see. Gonna hope to try and get a little bit of time to work on my map again soon. Once I've got content up on here comfortably, so I'm gonna lose my voice.
Take the first exit.
Take the first exit.
Exit now.
Yeah, once we've got this sort of sorted out, we're a bit smoother on uploads and getting content recorded. Try and spend at least one day a week, or one evening a week, not a day, is it? But you know, a good few hours a week just to try and work on my map and do some more stuff. At this moment in time, still struggling to... I don't know what those lights are about. We're going to go though because they're flashing. To get the pastures up on Mod Hub at this point, it's in for its third. It's a simple pasture, man. It's in for its third round of testing. I can't see what else they can find that's wrong with it. If I change it anymore, and I've said this to some of the people on Discord, if I change it anymore, it's no longer going to be my mod. It's not. It's just basically going to be a basic pasture, and then there's no need for it to be out there. But you know, yeah. That's it. I feel like there's a little, but a little bit of anti-MrFarquar going on, because it's every little niggly thing, and there are so many mods on the Mod Hub that have I don't know what I'm indicating for. Have the same stuff that I have that are on there. No problem. Yeah, I like this. I've got a slightest bit of blade of grass where they don't want it. It's getting rejected. I had a small bit of grass pop up in a water trough. Now, there are mods out there where the water troughs and the feed troughs are full of grass from the paint mesh and the nav mesh and all that. And they're on there. They've been on there for a while. They've been updated and still have it on there. I had like 6 blades of grass, and it come back with a picture link squirreled all over it that's not acceptable. Like, come on, guys. It's not what they do. And also they sent me one back. I think it was on the second one. Although it was fine on the first lot of testing. My bales that I had on there were fine. Second lot of testing, they didn't like the bales that I was using as a decoration piece. They were trying to tell me that they're flying, and they're not flying. They're leaning on a fence, and I've got them so they lean on a fence, so that when you place it, you get a little animated rock. So they just move a little bit. That's what I wanted. I want them to, so that you can see they weren't completely static. They don't float because they're not static. They would fall over, and if you place it, because it doesn't have the flattening or anything of the area, if you place it on a hill, they roll over, because I thought that would be funny, and they'll just move about in the field. And yeah, apparently they're floating, yet they move around. If they were floating, they wouldn't move about. But yeah, so they didn't like that. They didn't like that I had bales and not a feed trigger. Like, I don't want it's a temporary, it's supposed to be a grazing pasture, so it's designed for the cows and the sheep that go in it to graze. But I want it on all platforms, so for console people there is no grazing, so you need to simulate it. So there is a feed trigger, but I didn't want a trough because it's temporary. You're supposed to move it around. So I just put a couple of bales there to mark, like, this is where the feed is, and I even put that in the description. I explained everything about the mod in the description, quite well detailed. And yeah, they didn't like it. They wanted me to put a feed trough in there instead, which is ludicrous, because there are mods out there that don't have any sort of visuals for water or feed or anything, and you have to find it yourself. I'd put them in to help, and apparently that's not right either. They didn't like my description. They said it was too complicated. All it does is explain the bloody mod and the purpose of it and the reason for it and why it's there, but and it weren't even complicated. It's just like a paragraph. So they gave me a copy paste of what they want me to put in there, so I just did that, so they can't grumble at that anymore. Now, I did have an issue with the sheep that was an actual issue, but that came out after the second round, when they wanted me to, instead of have 2 mods, to merge my mods so that I don't get multiple downloads. And again, there are people out there with 10 different sheds that are all sheds, and they're not in packs altogether, so they only get 1 download. Yeah, I've got to put my cow pasture and my sheep pasture in 1 pack, so I can only get, because they're too similar to be separate mods. Yet you can have 10 different sheds that aren't apparently similar and have 10 downloads. So it's just, like I say, it's just one of those things. It just seems like it's anti-me and my mod. I did say to someone, like, why don't they just say, sorry, we don't want your mod? Because that's how it's feeling. But I think it's something that would, if it gets there, would be handy. Ooh, I'm speeding way too much. That would be handy on console players, because they don't have the grazing. It's not easy to get cheap, affordable pastures, so you can simulate grazing, and you can't build grazing in on the map once you're on a console. So I was just trying to provide that. But perhaps they think because of that it might be popular, and they don't want to pay me my penny. But never mind. I'm trying. I've got it up. It's with them again. I mean, they didn't like my custom images. They wanted me to use their ones, so I did use their ones. And then apparently I had it in the wrong place, so I got to move it. Bloody wars. But why I can't have custom icons and other people can, again, I don't know. They were in the right format, they were all done, everything went through test run, everyone was fine, nothing got flagged. The sun will start coming up soon, nearly 4 o'clock. So yeah, we've had that. Like I say, it's back with them. It's in day 1 of testing again today. I did have a little look before I jumped on. Jumped on and checked that. Sorted out the servers, the multiplayer servers. We are all having issues in finding our server, which is crazy.
Take the third exit.
Like, I can see everyone else's server all the time, but my server, I have to in and out like 10 times at least to get it to show up. I had a day where I couldn't find my own server all day. It just didn't come up, and other members were on it. There was like Redneck and Lynn were on it for like 10 hours, I think, that day, and it didn't show up once for me. Again, I don't understand. I don't understand how that is. Yeah, I can see the same people's servers all the time. So if you watch this and you run your own farm sim server as well, do you ever have that issue where you see everyone else's servers but never see your own?
Exit now.
Because we have that all the time. And the Sax look isn't like it's a lot of mods or anything on there, or things you can't see. I mean, you can set it so you only see servers that you have all the mods for, so that should be easier because it should just show that one server. Or a feature that I think would be good is if you could set servers as favourites so they were always there. That's what we used to do with ARC. You set your favourite server, because, you know, there was thousands and thousands of servers on ARC. Set your favourite server and that would always be at the top of the list or under favourites. You could always see it. Whether it be dedicated or private, or I'm supposed to be turning left. Back up a little bit. Mr. Deliveroo, someone's got a big dinner on the way. So we can get round. Ooh, just about. Risky business. I'm sure we could have gotten, if we'd have gone up there and then turned left somewhere, but I don't know this place. So yeah, that is an issue that we are having with the multiplayer. But once we get on, we have a hell of a lot of fun. Just little hazards on so people know.
Take the first exit.
I mean, last night we were on, and I got to be on with them, and it was, you know, 5 or 6 of us all on, and that was a good laugh, good chat. So that's why we want to try and do it. Now, I keep saying I want to stream it. But at the minute, if I try and get content out, where am I going? Where am I going? Do I need to go over here? This is where I'm going. Yeah, if I'm trying to record content, that means I'm in the chair during the day or in the evening, and then sort of later on, so just too uncomfortable to sit for like 3 hours and stream. Like even yesterday, like I went fishing with the boy, come back, absolute agony from that, laid out on the floor for about an hour, and then laid on the floor for an hour, had a bath, laid on the floor for an hour, stretched out, and then sat in the chair. Right, 300 quid.
Recomputing.
Recompute, oh, we're rolling. See, that's my sticky accelerator. So yeah, and then I only came on to do some bales, but I think we've got a mod conflict, so my bales weren't working. So I did contracts, chatted with them, and then we needed help on the other server. So I jumped over to that. So in the end, I was on for like probably 3 or 4 hours. Oh man, this is tough to get around. How am I supposed to be going? Which way am I going down? Let me reverse. There we are. Let's try when the accelerator gets stuck. I can't find reverse. No, we don't. We want to go straight ahead.
Rerouting. Make a U-turn now.
No, I've got to try and get out if I can. Yeah, we're going to take this one. We're going to go out. I couldn't see how that was the way out before. This has to be the way
Go
out.
straight.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's find a new
We're alright. We're alright. Yeah, but then from doing that, this morning woke up in absolute agony, and it's midday before I'm able to do anything.
Get ready to turn right.
But I want to try and get on there again this evening. And before that, I want to try and get on and help some of the guys with some issues they're having, like with mod switches and mod folders and how to do some things. So I want to try and do some screen sharing on Discord and sort of walk them through what I do. I don't know everything, and I'll never claim to know everything, or hardly anything, to be fair. But I will always try and help people where I can. If I know it, I'll try and share it. Because not everyone knows how to do the same things, and that was something that we were saying in this on MP last night. Like the things that some people find it difficult with setting up different folders and downloading things and where to find stuff. Some people say, that's the easy bit. Like that's the easy bit, man. What are you doing? Whereas then the next step of sorting out and running a mod switcher and manager and stuff like that, then that's the bit that some people are finding hard. So people learn differently and people understand things differently, and I find that especially with sort of these sort of simulator games, you tend to get an older audience like myself. I'm 40 now. A lot of my audience are around my age or older. We've got a few younger ones, but my age or older, and it's not all instinctive and as intuitive as you might think for some of us.
At the roundabout.
You know, we're of an age where we're comfortable with technology because we grew up as it came in, but we're not necessarily as savvy as the next generation that followed, that always had it and have been able to learn with it. Like we did for Gen Z and Zennials, as we are, or Gen X and Zennials, sorry. We had a period of our life where we didn't have this technology, and then it came in as we got older, and so yeah, we learned that really quickly, and then as it changed and developed and it grew, but those of us that didn't have a solid interest in it or keep up with it, and like myself, I took like easily 10 years away from like a lot of PC stuff. Always had a laptop, but just used it for basic things and the odd game, and just gamed on consoles because it was easier for my lifestyle at the time. And then getting back into PC gaming about sort of 5 years ago, a lot had changed, and suddenly everything that I knew and that I was good at was sort of quite irrelevant as to how things work. And the language and terminology is, you know, very different. And that was something that was brought up as well. It's, sometimes you'll go somewhere, or some people have gone and asked other people for help, like other content creators for help and stuff, and they're like, oh, well, you just go here, do this, do that, and then you've got it. Why can't you understand that? And like sometimes it's like, well, I don't have the thing to go there and do step one, so can we go back and can you just help me? How do you get to step one? How do you get that program that you're saying I need to use? how do I get that? And what I'm saying, like, well, a particular content creator, tell them, well, if you can't do that, then why you even bother doing it? Just go find a different hobby. Like, that's not how you that's not how you help someone. And we've got a little issue in one of our not in my personal Discord, but in one of our Discords, we got a member who's clearly struggling with confidence and understanding information. And people have been very patient with them, and they've given them every bit of knowledge they need, like everything they could possibly do. But for 3 weeks on, if not longer, they're still asking the same question because they're just not following the instruction, like, or the advice. It's not even like instructions, it's the constant ask of, is it safe? Is it safe? And people, yes, do this, do this, do this. And then, like, literally 6 hours later, they'll be, oh, can I ask a question? Is it safe to do? Yes, just do this, do this, do this, go here. But they're not worried about the process. They know how to do the process, but they just keep asking that same blooming question, and then that gets frustrating for the community. And after like 3-4 days of them doing it, I spent a whole day in DMs talking them through everything they needed to do, where they needed to go, what was safe, what was best practice. And then the next day, straight back in the main feed, can someone help me? I don't know. And they ask the exact same questions again. And that gets frustrating. And I'm starting to think they're trolling us. I hate that term, troll. But I think they're trolling us. Because it's crazy. I did get to the point where I did have to put a post out. I mean, I timed them out for 24 hours because they just kept asking that same question about, is it safe to get mods from King Mods? Yes, it's safe to get mods from King Mods. And Itch, yes, it's safe to get mods from Itch. It's safe to get them from Facebook. Get them direct from the people who create them. You are fine. But it's been constant. Just want to make sure I take the right route here. This is where I normally mess up these sort of junctions. So yeah, I spent a lot of time with this person, and in the end I had to time them out because the rest of the community was just getting frustrated by the same thing every day. And then when they came back, they start again, and I saw them go to another Discord that I'm in and start that same line of questioning. And it's madness. But it will help anyone. Like I said, I took a whole day out in DMs, constantly going through it. But still they still had to do it. But they said that the only way people could help you anymore now, because they said, I just don't feel like I'm getting the help I want. Like, they just said, but the only way anyone could help you further now than what we already have, because everything you need is in the feed, in your DMs, or even on a simple Google search or a YouTube search. The only way anyone could help you anymore was to sit at your PC and do it for you. There is nothing else, no more information that anyone could give that could help you.
Turn left.
Hey. I didn't do anything. What am I getting fined for there? And I was saying to one of the other guys in chat on the multiplayer, like, when I do stuff, because they say, oh, I can't do it like you, you're not as good as you. I'm not very good. I struggle with everything. But what I do is when I'm doing something that's maybe a little bit complex, or I need the information, or certainly when I'm doing anything sort of modern-wise, on my second screen, I have a tutorial that I'm using, always there, and it's constantly on repeat, and it's usually from Disturbed Simulations. Even the basic stuff, as soon as I know I'm going to go and do something, I'm like, right, I'll just put that tutorial up, and I'll have it running, and then when I get to the bit I'm stuck at, I'll be able to find it quicker and easier, and I'll be able to get through it and do it. So someone said to me, why don't I do tutorials? Because I'm doing it, and they say sometimes, although when I'm talking, like, obviously I lose track, and it's all very random. I said, but when you explain things, it's really helpful. So, but I think the tutorial's already out there. Like,
Turn right.
I would make a tutorial that would be exactly the same as the tutorial I use, which, you know, isn't really me and what I do.
Here we
Or
are.
copy someone.
Kind of on time.
Because the sufficient tutorial is there. And then some people say, oh, but we don't find them tutorials helpful the way you tell us is good. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about tutorials and stuff. Like, I think Disturbed Simulation has, and a lot of the guys in my community use Disturbed as well for information. I think Disturbed Simulation has by far some of the best tutorials. So go check him out if you're struggling with anything at all, like reversing a truck. I'm gonna need to. Well, so I need to get my shifter fixed. This will be easier, but I still really need to sort out the pedals. What we need is some success on YouTube, so I can afford to buy a new wheel and pedals. Then I'll just magic up more space to set up the driving seat for my son, since I'm too fat for it now. Which the guys in the MP find hilarious when I tell them I'm too fat for my driving seat. Right, shall we... well, see, we're drifting out. Just got stuck. Now it won't reverse again. Come on. There we are. Handbrake every time. Deliver it. So that was just nearly 7 grand, I suppose. After the 2 fines, one was speed and the other one was someone hit us. That would have been 6 grand. On our way up on level 26, does it show our total finances there? No. Okay. So our actual finances are 256 grand. That's I spent over 100 grand tarting up the truck, trying to make it look nice. We will have a quick look in on our drivers. We'll see how everyone's doing. Clark, he is doing his ADR training. He hasn't really progressed. I'm sure he's been on ADR for quite a while. He has the... I think we need to get some more curtain siders. We need to get FrostFlow freight trailers out there for our guys and girls. But he's doing all right. Where's his log? That's it, show log. I forget things. It's about 61 and 52. So he paid for my upgrades. Yvonne, she's in the Merc. Oh yeah, they're all in. I say all. I think most of them are in a Merc, aren't they? He's got the Iveco. So Vonnie, her averages, that's pretty good. 36, 50, 41. She's gone Venice to Cambridge, Cambridge to Porto. Wilhelm, about four grand a day. You're not doing as big a jobs. I mean, eco driving. Perhaps we should switch him up to long distance. Oh, 13, 13. He lost money. He came, but he come back empty again. Coming back empty. Okay. That's not so good when they do that, is it? Shall we stick him on some long distance for a few months? Or a few months, a few days, isn't it? John, 11 grand. Ricachevo to Le Mans. He's our, oh yeah, he's our French guy. He's doing alright on that one. What's his training like? He's on balance, he's done a bit of everything. Probably stick him on eco for a bit. And then Daniel, he's in the Iveco Highway. So yeah, I think we need to look into some more trailers for our guys. I think we make more money if we have a trailer, but then they're only limited to doing those sort of jobs. That's the only thing. Once they're all filled up on long distance, I think they'll go further and we can put whatever trailers we want on them. We could have one lot that just do like liquid. But I think Daniel's pretty new. But he's done empty runs again, look. Le Mans to Le Mans, and it cost us $1,000 for him to do that. That doesn't make much sense, does it? 105 days we've been going for. That's pretty cool. Yeah, an empty one back from Bordeaux. So that's not great. That's why his average is down to $1,000 a day. I mean, £3 a mile. John makes 33, 38. I'm smashing it with £69 a mile. Oos. So I was just going to have a look and see if we can upgrade. We can upgrade Le Mans. Perhaps we'll look to get another driver in there. We'll upgrade it. And this is Le Mans, looking all spruced up and fancy. It's a nice one. Wonder what they're building out back next to us. And we also have the Norwich one as well, so that could be upgraded. They've got their own fuel here as well. But yeah, we get a few more trucks, a few more drivers in there. Stick a couple of trailers in it. Well, that wasn't cheap. We're now down 168 grand. And Norwich is just me. That's just my one. It was going to be anyway, but it's not. That means it's not making any money though, doesn't it? Out of Norwich. Perhaps we should try and get 1 or 2 people in there. But that will be the concerns for another day. They've already took the trailer away. Look at that. I came out, the world didn't load in, so I had to go back in the menu before it crashed. So the trailer's gone. But that is it for another journey. The truck does look a bit sexy. I want to get a screenshot of that. Yeah, let me know what you think of the truck. Is it still too naked? Hopefully you've enjoyed today's journey. It wasn't perfect, but I don't think it was too bad. Yeah, I don't know where we're going to go in Europe now. I might try and head a little bit north into Estonia, Latvia, and whatever's up that way a little bit, and then see if we can get into what else we got up there. There's somewhere else up there, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this one. If you have, give it a big fat thumbs up down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn the bell notification on, find out when new videos come live. As always, comments and feedback down there. You guys have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.